Well, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to make this video, but I've got to tell people. I got to tell people the truth. This is why Matt Corral is not an NFL caliber quarterback. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so obviously Matt Corral is for sure an interesting case of a quarterback prospect with a lot of potential in his career that I think will not put it all together and won't have a long career. In fact, I believe that Matt Corral has a higher chance of flopping and being out of the league in 3 to 4 years and having a long, successful career as a backup or even a starter in the NFL. And a lot of people are going to question why I think that. Well, here is the reason why. Let's talk about Matt Corral's awful, truly terrible mechanics. Matt Corral has some really horrible mechanics for a quote-unquote high-level quarterback prospect at the next level. Now, the main reason you see Matt Corral sail simple passes on game tapes, such as curl routes and sideline out routes, is mainly because he has bad mechanics and they cause him to overlead or even overthrow the football. This is mainly the reason he was not picked in the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft because of this. And obviously, yes, it can be fixed. But no, it's not going to be easy to fix, and it's going to be a long and arduous process for any quarterback coach to fix these mechanics that he has. Matt Corral put on game film that he was probably the most injury-prone quarterback in the entirety of this year's draft class. Now, just because Matt Corral is considered quote-unquote tough by his coaching staff does not mean it's going to prevent injuries. Ankle issues were especially prevalent at the end of the season for Matt Corral as he injured his ankle in a game versus Auburn and also a game versus Baylor in the Sugar Bowl. Now, this is mainly another key reason why his stock absolutely plummeted going into the NFL draft. Just because you're tough does not mean you're a first-round graded quarterback by scouts and GMs. There's simply more to it than that. And if you put that on game tape, a lot of teams aren't going to take the risk and take a flyer on you. Let me get the truth out. Matt Corral straight up disappeared in big games in his final years at Ole Miss. Alabama, Auburn. Matt Corral did not play well in either of these games. In fact, Matt Corral was essentially relegated to being a bona fide game manager against these 2 teams because of a lack of trust in Corral's arm. When your coach and your entire coaching staff game plans one game for you to throw it all over the yard, but in the next game he game plans you to be a game managing quarterback against a better team, that means you're not a consistent quarterback not only at the college level, but at the NFL level as well. And a lot of teams probably saw this and they said, we can't trust this kid to make the big time throws, hence why we're not going to take a chance on him. Now, before the conclusion of this video starts up here, I'm going to say the reason I have Matt Corral highlights on the screen is because I know the kid has a lot of potential. I know he has a lot of room to grow as an NFL quarterback. It's just all of these factors combined don't sell me on Matt Corral at all. How are you going to trust this man when he wasn't even trusted by his own coaching staff at Ole Miss? I do not understand it one bit at all. It's crazy to me. We have now reached the conclusion. So, in conclusion, Matt Corral's game is riddled with inconsistency, massive flaws, and holes. Don't believe me? All you have to do is watch his Alabama and Auburn game tape. It is extremely, and I mean extremely evident that this guy had no business even being on the field for Ole Miss in those 2 games. There are current group of 5 quarterbacks still in college, such as Grayson McCall and Jake Haener, that will go on to have much, and I mean much more successful careers than Matt Corral ever will have in the National Football League. And those are my exact reasons why I believe that Matt Corral is not an NFL starting caliber quarterback. Thank you all for watching this video. This has been Mr. Truth here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out. See you next time.